boys and girls. This is my friend Jack. Jack's a reporting hero in his organization because he can crank out answers to questions so fast. Jack has one really good friend in the company. Her name's Jill. She's an analyst, and a few times a year she has a question. She goes to Jack and she just waits for the answer, and she's happy with that. And that works out great for their relationship for a long time. But suddenly, the company hires a whole bunch of other business analysts. All these analysts have questions, and they've got questions much more frequently than Jill ever did. They all go to Jack. Jack, please help, please help, please help. And Jack wants to be the hero, but unfortunately, poor Jack begins feeling overwhelmed. He's drowning as all these questions keep coming at him because he simply can't get all their answers fast enough. Well, his manager has a great idea. He's going to implement a demand management system and spare poor Jack all the requests he feels should go through a queue for evaluation, estimation, and prioritization. Well, the reality is no matter how many times the manager modifies the color or shape of the funnel by tweaking that process, poor Jack is still a bottleneck. He's only got so many hours in the day, and it takes time to hear questions, figure out what they need, and provide the answers. Eventually, besides all their requests going into the queue, they start throwing in their bad feelings. Their frustration starts rising and it comes out of their voices as they're having discussion. They really begin to get annoyed because it seems like this prioritization queue has become very political, and the people with the most clout in the company get the answers, not the people who need answers the most. Well, as all of this goes on, the costs in the company continue to rise and they continue to miss opportunities to find answers. Jack's manager sees that this is an issue and he begins to dream of this self-service analytic thing. He hears about how self-service analytic lets business users get answers to all their questions whenever they want, as frequently as they want, no matter how many they might have. And he realizes that's got to be the answer because no matter how many of Jack's brothers he's hired to do the work, the questions always outnumber the ability to get the answers. And there's always a time lag of waiting to get answers. The truth is, self-service analytics is a pipe dream. Even if you can take all your disparate data and you put them into one single source, the truth is those business users are still going to be left scratching their head. They are not trained like Jack in SQL. They're not trained in coding. They know the business has a million different rules and they're not sure what all those rules are. So even when they can see zeros and ones, the questions are still in their head because they don't have trust. And you simply can't take action on data you don't trust. What the organization really needs is governed self-service. It's a must. You have to have some kind of guardrails. You've got to provide a single source of business rules around the data. You simply have to be able to have coded expressions defining what those business rules are. You've got to have data available describing what those resources are and how you got to these rules and these formulas and these expressions. You've got to know who the users are that manage those processes. So if there's questions, we can go to that person instead of having to just go reinvent the wheel every single time. End users have to know what your refresh policy is. They've got to know how accurate or up to date the data is. You can't take action on data that was from a month ago, and they know that. You've got to provide this kind of metadata for them. They've got to know what the data lineage is. They got to know what that source of these answers is. So if an expression uses a field, we better know where that field came from. Jack begins using ClickSense to provide all these guardrails. He knows how to do all this stuff. So he begins implementing this in ClickSense. That turns a single source of data into a single source of truth. It takes all those disparate data sources, provides all of the coding and business rules and security around it, and now all these business users get to be heroes themselves. It's not all about Jack. What Jack's manager missed all along is it wasn't about Jack being a hero. And while he's still very, very good friends with Jill, the truth is what the company needs is for everybody to be their own hero and get the answers when they need it. What Qlik provides is this ability to scale how many people in your organization are heroes. It provides them the ability to get answers now that they know they can trust, and therefore they can take action on it.